Hi everyone, it's Nicole McGuirk here, and this is a new series I'm starting called Saturday Storage Solutions, and it's just some of my favorite products and tips and tricks for storing some of those things in our craft rooms that we all love, but may be tricky. Today I'm going to cover sequins, and I have found these Craftmates Pop and Lock storage containers to be excellent for storing sequins. They are teeny tiny little compartments that come in this tray. They pop out. See that little square there in the back? All you do is push up on that and the whole little row of storage containers pops out. There's 4 little containers per row. So lots of storage in one small compact little container or little storage unit. When you push in that purple little knob there on the left side, you can lift up each lid individually. Otherwise, they don't lift up. So really safe and secure. No more spilled sequins everywhere, which is what I was dealing with before. Or some of those other storage containers that maybe have one lid but lots of divided compartments. If you open it up, you can, spill different colors into each other or whatever, and I just wasn't loving that. These I found just keep them in their own little space so easily. They're quick to use. It's easy to see what I have because they're clear. And like I said, they pop right out of this and are so easy to fill and easy to use. I can dump them into like shakers or whatever right from this container by opening whichever color I'm using and just kind of spilling them in. So I find them really easy, and I hope you do too. They're a very inexpensive storage solution, which is excellent. I know we're all looking for things that don't cost an arm and a leg to store our supplies in. There you can see I added some more of the 4mm sparkling clear sequins from Pretty Pink Posh into my little container. I'm replenishing both my 4mm and my 6mm sparkling clear sequins. I tend to use those all the time. Probably my most used color of sequins, or not so much a color, I guess. And at the end here I have my marshmallow sequins, which are more of the opaque white. And I have both the 4mm and I'm adding the 6mm, excuse me. So I'm just kind of popping those right in there. Any of them that kind of fall out, I'm just picking up with my fingers and knocking them back into the little container. And a few stuck to the bag. That happens sometimes. It just depends. Sometimes they all come right out. Sometimes they don't. I'm sure you've experienced that as well. So because I already have labels here that say sparkling clear and marshmallow, I am not going to include new labels. And I'll show you how I include some labels with some new colors of sequins that I have here in just a little bit. Now these are the little bit larger Pretty Pink Posh sequins. Those are sparkling clear. So I am going to create a new row. I have 2 trays right now, and I have a third kind of ready to go probably for my Pretty Pink Posh sequins, just because they are my absolute favorite. That's mostly what I am showing you here in my video. I also have a tray of Studio Calico Color Theory sequins because I like those as well. And then I have a few random sequins in another tray that I'm not showing. But these are just really, I find this is a really great way to store my sequins. Now because this larger size sparkling clear is enough bigger, I'm going to use 2 little wells for that size. Now this is the Brother P-Touch label maker. I absolutely love it. I like to go to the menu and change the margins when I am printing, and I like to choose the chain print. This is going to print my labels close together without feeding them in between each label, which just saves on paper. So you can see hardly any came out when I printed one of my labels here. If you're printing a ton of labels, I highly recommend this. It just saves on the paper so you don't have to replace it as often or cut too much excess off, because we don't want to waste. While I am printing my labels, I'm going to go ahead and print all of them that I need today. I have several new packages of Pretty Pink Posh sequins that I need to add into my sequin storage, so I like to print them all at once. This is very easy label maker to use. I am never without it. I use it for absolutely everything. It will be featured in every storage video I do here in this series because I label everything. I didn't used to label everything quite like I do now, and I can tell you I am much, much more efficient when everything is labeled and I can find what I'm looking for quickly and easily. And that doesn't just pertain to paper crafting. I use this in many, many aspects of my life. I just find I love things labeled. So I'm continuing to print out all of my little labels here. I am using the 1/4 inch tape here. This is the white tape with black printing. You can use the 1/2 inch tape and do 2 lines of text if you wanted and cut them apart. This was already in my machine, and I use the 1/4 inch tape probably the most. I use the 1/2 inch tape when I am creating larger labels for my stamp storage and die storage, which will be the next video I'll be sharing. Maybe next, I don't think next week, the week after. So I'll show you a little bit more of the 2 sizes of tape I use then. So I have trimmed apart all of my labels here, and you can see there wasn't a ton of excess in between each, a little bit more, and you can trim that down if you need to. Normally I wouldn't have to, however, these sequin containers are pretty small, so I might have to trim up those here a little bit, and I'll show you that in a second. So I've added in some of my circle confetti sequins. These aren't really sequins, it's more confetti, I guess I should say. I have added it in with my sequins because it's from these are all from Pretty Pink Posh, and I like all of mine to be together, especially if it's like products that I'm going to use similarly. So I'm trimming apart my label because it's a little too long. You can see there on the end I did the Pretty Pink Posh metallic silver, and then I'll add the Pretty Pink Posh silver circle confetti. You might wonder why I'm labeling all of these. If you submit to magazines, or you submit to online magazines, or you blog and you like to link to the products you've used, you will want to label somehow. I always used to think I would remember, and I really don't remember everything anymore. So I find labeling it so much helps. If you do not do any of those things, then certainly you wouldn't need to label everything. But I know a lot of us really like to share our products and our projects rather in an online forum or similar type of forums. And if that's the case, you'll get asked maybe, you know, what sequins did you use? Are those cute little silver circle things? And being able to refer back to your stash and see exactly what they are is just so helpful. So I know we all love to share products that we love and use, and labeling them makes it so much easier. So I am going to continue and fill in this whole little row. Another thing I wanted to mention is you probably noticed that my sequins are in rainbow color. The Roy G. Biv way of organizing and doing sorting your supplies by color. I have purposely left space in some of the rows so that I can add to that color collection as my stash grows. I have had to rearrange a few in the previously, and it's kind of a pain. So I found if I leave a little space, then I can fill in as I need to. Now with the silver, I know that I'm going to have a lot of silver, a lot of gold, and probably a lot of white. Those are my 3 most used as far as sequins and confetti go. So I can go ahead and fill in this whole row with silver because I have tons of it. So there's what that row all looks like filled in now. And things like I will like mix yellow and orange in a row or things like that. And you don't have to rearrange. If you get more, you can simply just put them in the next, and another little compartment of 4 and put it right below the other one. It's so easy to rearrange these, which I'll have to do here in a little bit, and you'll see that it makes it super quick and easy without a ton of dumping them into a different container and having to rearrange them. So this is my first black sequins. I just picked these up. Well, I picked them up a while ago. They've been in my I need to sort and organize pile for maybe, oh, I hate to even say this, like 3 or 4 weeks. So I thought I would use them for Halloween projects, and that didn't happen, but I love having them on hand. I know I will use them. So these are the Onyx 4mm Pretty Pink Posh sequins. And those are the only black sequins I have, so I'm going to leave those in that row just as they are, because I likely will get some gray or something like that, and those can go in the wells next to it. Now I had some additional silver, so I'm going to start a whole new row of these. These are some adorable little teeny tiny star sequins from Pretty Pink Posh, perfect for holiday cards. So I'm really excited about using those on maybe some shakers or just scattered throughout a card design or layout. And again, I'm just going to trim up my label if there's a little bit of excess on the ends, just because I have such a small space to add this. You could also add the labels maybe on the bottom if you rather. I just like picking up popping out those compartments and being able to see the names of the sequins right there. And honestly, I don't even have to pop them out. You can kind of just pick up the tray and look, and where I'm placing those labels, it shows with each of those little compartments still in the carrier. So that makes it really easy. Now here's where I'm rearranging. I had filled up my other tray that has most of the colors. So this is going to have white, black, silver, gold, and then my mix collections, which is like there's a holiday mix there and a fall mix and a spring mix of sequins. So there's my colorful tray, and that is how I store my sequins. I hope you've enjoyed this storage solutions video. The supplies I've used, I have listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you next time.